What is up?
Well, actually, I was hoping I could start today because I have.
Okay. That's good because I kind of ran out of words. I don't know. I just kind of.
Yeah.
You wanted to do a short one, and so I was like, well, I should just keep it brief then.
Yeah,
why don't you start?
Yeah, well, as you know, I've been wanting to get into stand-up comedy here recently.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I have a joke I want to run by you in the Rat Pack. If you can just give me your honest feedback.
If it gets bad, then we're gonna go to the intro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what's the deal? With those signs on the road where they say "road work ahead." Obviously they typically are.
You know what it is now, boys and girls of the podcast world. Matt and Tyler on the mics. They're gonna stay here until they agree. They're gonna stay here until they agree. Oh, thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
And welcome back to Until We Agree. My name's Matt, joined as always by
Tyler from Until We Agree. By the way, it's not on the agenda, but I got to talk about it.
Yeah, lay it on me.
The new Lilo and Stitch movie.
What about it?
Have you heard? Stitch sounds way too close to our impression. Which, if you haven't heard our impression of Stitch, go ahead and hit it, Stitch.
It's Stitch, yeah.
Which sounds very close to my newly acquired impression of RFK Jr.
Oh yeah, you've gotten really good at this RFK Jr. impression. Go and do it.
Should we save it for the? It's all the red 40. Oh my god. All right, that. We'll save the rest for the end with Matt Damon. But
yeah,
that's where impressions happen.
You guys are in luck. We're talking about Parasite today, Tyler's favorite movie of all time, and I watched it.
We're gonna have to say that for the end.
And yeah, at the end, he's gonna defend his stance on Parasite in the RFK voice.
Oh, I can't do that. I don't think either of those things actually.
Yeah, I know. Just wait till post credit. You'll hear RFK again. But yeah, welcome back to the show. This is special episode Memorial Day. We both were a special holiday episode filming late. But that's what happens when you gotta go live life a little bit. No work. Just play today. I played golf today. I shot a 77. Which was actually pretty unreal for me.
That's off, Queen.
Thank you, Queen. That's a pretty big day for me. And then we had a little cookout afterwards. The baby that keeps coming to all these social events is growing up. So shout out to the baby.
Larger. Nice.
Our president of our company at Until We Agree is his baby, and yeah, everyone seems to be doing good there. Had a great burger from Austin, the president. So shout out Austin. But yeah, that's. Oh, and I finished. As we'll get into it later even more, but I'm on this peak cinema kick I've been on recently, and today I finished Dune 1, and I'm looking forward to Dune 2.
Oh,
but yeah, I'm going through a lot of big time movies, and we'll get into that later. I finished the Dark Knight movies as of last week, and I found a new pocket. So that's been my Memorial Day. What do you do?
Dang, I was outside climbing for like 8 hours. It was supposed to rain. And it didn't rain, so I got to go outside.
Isn't that so sick?
It was so sick, but it was still cloudy, so it was nice because in Texas it's hot, and so it was nice.
Dude. Yeah,
and
man.
So sent my new hardest route, a 510D.
And when you say sent, you mean climb.
Climbed it and completed it, and so that was fun. And then I had some Thai food, and I'm now on the podcast. It's been a great day.
And your tummy's doing okay?
Well, so from the second that we got there to the climbing wall, I had to use the restroom. The issue being it's in the nature, so there's no restroom out there per se.
I'm struggling to see what the issue is, actually.
And so my tummy has been hurting for quite a few hours, but then we got Thai food and I was finally able to use the restroom, but then I had a lot of Thai food, some ice cream, coconut ice cream. And so then I came back home and I had to use the restroom again. And so I was running late and I texted Matt, hold on, I'm having a food poisoning attack. Because of course, as everybody knows, I had food poisoning earlier this year.
No cure
and
for
it just tends to come back as the year goes on. Sort of like a Crohn's disease type thing, but much worse as we've established, where it just comes back out of nowhere, really. And there's no treatment for it. So It's really tough. You just have to kind of hope a flight attendant's there to give you some Alka-Seltzer,
Right.
like back in January.
Well,
and you power through.
The thing is there's no treatment for it because it cures itself fairly rapidly.
But then it comes back, of course.
No, actually,
like
it doesn't.
did today.
I think what you're talking
like
about
it did
is,
today.
I think you have something deeper rooted, and I think you're closer to the Crohn's community than you like to admit.
No, it's food poisoning, and it was just a mild attack today, so it's like an upset tummy.
Yeah. So, dude,
You know all about those.
Don't I know it, man?
Dude, are you out of the doghouse?
Yes, and that's all we're saying on that, man.
Dude, Matt was in the doghouse when I called him, letting him know I was on the way home. He was in trouble.
It was all my fault too. I have no one to blame but myself for my foolish actions. But
yeah,
that's who Brittany married, and I fear it may not be changing anytime soon. But
it honestly, the situation. All I'll say, the situation reminded me of.
Hey, Rat Pack, welcome back to Until We Agree. Had to do a big cut there because Tyler went off in a direction that doesn't align with the values and morals of this show.
Matt is like.
So
just know that. Just know that.
That's not
okay.
Not even remotely true.
Just know that.
Can I shift us in a new direction? Because there's something I really want to talk about.
Please do. Please. I'm seeing it on the agenda. I'm excited to know what this is about.
I'm glad you said Noah what this is about because
nice.
I want to talk about Noah for a second.
Yeah. Long-time listener.
Yeah.
Sometimes caller.
Yeah. Probably you have to think has the third most airtime ever on this show. Probably by a pretty fair margin. But
yeah,
I just wanted to give a shout out to Noah. We haven't heard from Noah in a while. I was hoping to hear from him soon, but
I don't think he listens anymore.
Well,
but we'll see after this. Text Noah, if you're still listening, text me.
Yeah. Okay. And so I was on Instagram today after I finished watching Dune Part 1 and before I went to go to the cookout. And I was on Instagram looking at stories and I saw Noah was at the zoo. And
yes.
I just want to take some time here on the podcast to wish Noah the best and hope he had a good time at the zoo today.
Wow, that was very nice of you. I knew he was going to the zoo because he told me yesterday. I talked to him yesterday.
Okay, this wasn't a competition. Okay. So here's the thing: this wasn't a competition, and so I don't.
No, I just seem to know. I know Noah better than you know Noah. So it's just, yeah, I did know that he was going to the zoo. I'm sorry.
I noticed you didn't
laugh stand up. Somebody said stand up, right?
No, that was good, man. That was pretty good.
Okay, why don't we move on because
yeah,
I know the audience is getting tired. Okay.
Yeah, so I've come to you today with a few fun debate/thought exercises in a new segment that I recently named "Gay Son or Thought Exercise."
So you're just choosing between two situations? Is that what's going on here?
No, well maybe we'll see. It's more.
This is a play off of Gay Son or Thought Daughter, yeah. and you're. What is this about? Look at this, because I'm looking at the topics, like to the audience. I can see the topic, and I just can't see how this is going to relate.
So here's the thing: is the idea is it's just really a thought exercise. It could come into a debate, but I really just want to get your brain moving and see if we can't have a good dialogue on this topic. These next two things that you're seeing on the agenda, I'll give the listeners a little sneak peek. It's a sleep topic and a state topic. And so we'll get further into it. But yeah, so what I wanted to do first of all is ask everyone to follow us on Until We Agree on Instagram and TikTok, and leave a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. Sure. And then also,
one more thing. Listen
now to the question that I have for Tyler. This hit me last night. I sent you the text as a reminder for myself, around probably 11:30 or so.
It was later at night, and so I thought you were commanding me to sleep, but then luckily you did say... You said this is not a command; it's more of just a topic. And so
more of a topic because I don't want to come across as someone who.
And I haven't slept since.
Okay, because you wanted to defile me.
Right,
that's not the right word.
Well, whoa.
What's the word?
I wanted to defy you.
Dude, that one is actually an accident. Okay.
I wanted to defile you with a suppository is what you wanted to say.
No.
But now I just defy you.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
I'm excited to hear this question.
Sleep. I was wondering, and this happens to me not regularly, but when it happens, you experience an emotional response while you're in the middle of the night. And so what I was thinking about was, what time is it in the middle of the night when you happen to wake up and you look at your phone and you're like, oh man, I bet I have to wake up pretty soon. And you look at your phone and say it's like 1:30 or 6:15. What point in the night does it switch from being a really joyful feeling where you realize you have so much more time to sleep
That's
versus
a good question.
dreadful feeling of like, oh, I only have like 45 minutes, or I only have like even like 2 hours. Like, I don't want to put words into your mouth, but
I've got
want
it.
to know.
I've
want
got
to
the
know
concept.
what you
I'll
think,
go ahead and say
think
that.
of it. Yeah, go for it. So, what are your
So
initial
let's
thoughts?
say we're gonna wake up at 8 a.m. Right?
Okay.
Let's just set an alarm time. If I
8
wake
a.m.
up,
First of all, it's a crazy alarm time for a grown adult, but that's neither here nor there.
but I'm just it's a thought experiment, by the way. But if I set an alarm for 8 a.m., which by the time I don't need much time to get ready, so I know that you're very, I don't know what the word would be, but what's the
Regimented.
word? No, what's the word when you're very like obsessed
Obnoxious.
with looks, obnoxious with looks, metrosexual.
What are you talking about?
Metrosexual, that's what you are. And that's okay. Hey, and that's okay. You're
not. That's-
and that's okay. But me, I just get out of bed, run my fingers through my hair and walk out the door. Then I have to come back through the door because I forgot to put on clothes. But
Dude, that was actually funny. Keep going.
and so here's what I'm thinking. 5 a.m. because 3 hours is enough where I'm like, okay, I can get back deep sleeping. But anything after that, I'm like, oh, I might just stay up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I have. First of all, have not woken up at 8 a.m. in a long time. That I maybe like on
Nobody's
like a
saying
weekend, but
people
like
are waking up at 8 a.m.
But like, if I wake up at 6:45 for work, which I think is a pretty standard time for me at this point, what I'm thinking is I kind of have. I actually didn't mention this to you, but I think I have 3 levels where I have a very joyful level, a level where I'm like, okay, this could go either way, and then a level where I'm like, oh, this stinks because I'm barely gonna get back to sleep, and then it's gonna go off again anyways, and that's disappointing because I wish I had more time. So it was actually recently. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had a 12:45 a.m. Can you imagine the way I felt at a 12:45 a.m.?
Because then you've already been asleep a little bit, and you know you can go right back to sleep and get another 7 hours and 15 minutes in some scenarios.
Yeah, I'd already had a full REM, and I was feeling really good on that one. So that was super special. But I think anytime up until 4, I'm absolutely ecstatic. Like that's pretty similar. No question. Yeah, and then I think it's really like if I'm inside of an hour, I think that's where I start to feel it. I can get back to sleep pretty well, but like I'm really disappointed because I'm disappointed when I'm trying to go back to sleep, and I'm especially disappointed when I wake up.
Yeah, and especially the closer it gets too, the more I typically will need to get up to use the restroom or something. And then I'm like, I might as well just stay awake and stay on my feet.
Because your brain I had this
your brain starts waking up. Exactly.
Yeah, I had this really bad phase, and it's not happening anymore.
Oh, it's happening right now? Oh.
No. What are you talking about, man?
Just like a bad phase.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like this happening right now.
No, that's funny, man. Yeah. No, I had during like the midst of peak COVID. So I was living at my parents' house, and I would do this awful thing where I would fall asleep on the most uncomfortable couch ever. And then around like 2 a.m. would roll around, and I'd wake up and I had to get up and get ready for bed and then go to bed. And it was so stupid because by the time once you get up and like, if you have to do like a quick trip to the bathroom, that's fine. But once you like get up and you like get in front of lights and you have to start doing activities like brushing your teeth and things like that, it disrupts everything, and then you're awake for like 45 more minutes. But it was a cycle I could not for the life of me break, and it was so annoying. But I kept doing it. Sounds like
laziness. It's pure laziness, is what that sounds like.
Okay, so what you're saying is actually mean, but keep going.
No, I mean, it just sounds like laziness. You were talking about,
I'm
woke up at 8 a.m. in years. I can't remember the last time I saw 8 a.m. on a clock because I was out doing things. That's what you sound like. But then,
no, bro, what are you talking about?
No, but then you're talking about sleeping on your parents' couch upstairs and having to wake up at 2 a.m. because you didn't brush your teeth yet.
So what part of that is lazy? What part?
That's a low point.
That's a low point. There were plenty of low points.
No, hey, that's
house.
A low point. That's
Every time you would come over and try to mooch off my mom's dinner, that was a low point for me too.
That just didn't happen because I would never eat the dinner,
which is actually way more rude. But yeah,
no, because I didn't want to put anybody out. I'm there to be a guest, not a nuisance, and that's all I have to say about that.
What about the idea that you're putting me out by continuously coming over to my house?
I haven't been there in a year and a half,
dude.
What do you think about that?
I'm thinking times change quick, man. Life changes.
You definitely switched up on me. That's for sure.
What does that even mean? Just because I moved away,
put a ring on your finger. And
I moved away
first,
settled down first, and then got you fired from your job. That doesn't mean anything about.
Yeah, you got me fired from my job. That's a true story that did happen.
Yeah, I honestly carry more weight than I probably should for that, because I often wonder if you didn't take PTO that week, maybe things would be different for you. But
I don't think so. I think the layoffs were set in stone, unfortunately.
I think your fate was probably sealed, but
yeah, I think they were.
That's okay. But your things are looking up for you now. You have a girlfriend, which is great. Haven't had one of those for a long time, but you're doing good there.
Well, that's just inaccurate. But go ahead, and because you switched up on me first, got married, settled down, and I'll go ahead and say it. I think Matt's mad at me.
Dude, I was just at a town hall meeting for saying the most redundant, obvious thing ever, and they were like, "Where's our mayor?" And then they saw you and you came in the room.
They saw me. I came in the door.
There's our mayor right there. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, the mayor of saying the most redundant thing city. Yeah. All right. Why don't you go ahead and do the next part?
Yeah. So here's phase two of this thought exercise.
Okay.
I want to know what you think, and I want you to say this quickly, not just for editing purposes, but I want you to have a predisposed notion that you just immediately shoot to immediately. So I'm gonna ask the question and then just say the first state. It's a state. The first state that comes to mind. Okay. In the course of all metrics you could possibly go off of, measurable and opinion based, it's gonna be
Alabama.
What is the least relevant state out of any state in the country?
Rhode Island.
I don't disagree. I actually have a different answer, but I don't disagree. I have Delaware.
I just thought because it's so small. It's just, they're all those up there, they just get jumbled around. When you have to start putting arrows to it on a map, it's just it. And
or that
fit the letters inside it, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, that extra block that like zooms in and sitting in the Atlantic Ocean, showing all those little states. The thing about, I'm thinking of like cultural impact. I do feel as though Rhode Island has slightly more cultural impact.
Right, the colonies.
Well, I think Delaware might have been one too. I see what you mean though. But like, think about have you ever heard of Peter Griffin?
Yeah, I think I have. What does he sound like again?
Ooh, that's actually a good question. Lois, I need pants.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's the same one, but yeah.
No,
I think I know
okay. How about you do one? You do Stewie.
I can't do that.
Okay, you do Brian.
I can't do that. Okay, I'm really good at improv too.
Fun improv exercise. Do an impression. I don't know how to do that. That's funny. But no, so like that, and then I mean, I think they're somewhat, when I think about sports, I can name more sports teams in Rhode Island than I can in Delaware with like college athletics. They make like the NCAA tournament once every like 6 years. But like Delaware, I can't think of anything that goes on in Delaware besides companies that incorporate there for the tax breaks. And that's it. Also,
are there tax breaks? I didn't know there were tax breaks.
That's why all like, yeah, dude, fun fact about Delaware is a lot of companies are incorporated there because they get great corporate tax breaks.
Maybe Vermont.
Dude, ever heard of Noah Kahn though? Think about Noah Kahn for a second.
You love that guy.
Noah Kahn.
All right, let's
maple
move
syrup.
on because. Sorry.
I said
maple syrup.
Yeah, I think they make that over there too.
Oh, okay. I was unaware. You seem to know a lot about these irrelevant old colonies.
Dude, if you need any more fun facts about it, I'm the geography guy here.
Would you say you're a colonialist?
I'd say probably loosely, yeah. I don't really know what that means in today's world, but yeah.
I doubt it's good. Like I doubt.
No, it doesn't feel.
It sounds ugly.
It doesn't feel like the best, but I do like Hamilton, so I don't know.
Okay,
maybe.
Nice. Did you support? Now let me ask you this. You're a history buff. Let me ask you. Did you support? All right. Let me put you under the Civil War.
Okay, come on. I like where this is going.
We've talked about North and South on this program quite a few times.
Yeah.
And I forget which side was Patrick Swayze on. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the TV show, the TV miniseries, North and South?
Yes.
Patrick Swayze was on, unfortunately, he was on the South.
So, and you like Patrick Swayze in that show, right?
I love Patrick Swayze in life.
So my issue with that is,
but I liked
you love Patrick Swayze in that show, but you also were a lawyer for the South in the Civil War class that we also watched.
Okay,
that
but
show
I don't think I can emphasize this enough. I was assigned that. I was assigned a role to be in the South, and I played my part, well.
May I say you could have said no?
Bro, I don't think
you could have stood up for the...
Do you remember... Okay, do you remember school? Like, let me put you onto school for 1 second. Do you remember school?
Yep.
So in school, you kind of do what the teachers tell you to do, and that way you can go and get good grades and then go to college and get good jobs. And so
right, but this
that's
teacher
what I was
had a
doing.
handlebar mustache and was clearly racist. And you listened. You listened to him?
Clearly racist is tough to say. Just because he supported the South and had a race issue with some of his students.
And students and basketball players that he coached. And I have a vivid memory of him showing us pictures from how we did Civil War reenactments, and he was not in the Union colors. I'll tell you that right now.
Bro, you don't remember? Did he not wear his Confederate uniform to class?
He may have, and I just have blocked it from my memory.
This was the most in trouble I ever got in school. He put on his entire Confederate Army uniform, and I took a picture of him, and I had my phone out, and he was a strict no phones guy. But I thought there was like 2 minutes left in class, so I was like, class is over. So he took my phone up, and you know other Tyler from the wedding, he took his phone up too. And we lost our phones, and this is actually really funny. My dad went to the office and got it and put it back in my car before the start of third period, and this was in second period. And then Tyler it was his first week having an iPhone, and his parents took it and didn't give it back to him for 2 weeks. We got in trouble for the same thing.
That's so funny. How did your dad get to the school so fast?
Well, like there was lunch also. So like second period ended.
Yeah,
then
I
we went
guess
to
we only had
lunch,
4.
and then I was in a class where we got to pick up all the recycling in the school on that day of the week.
Right.
So I just left and went to my car and then got my phone back, and I had it in like 45 minutes. But lunch, yeah, I had to sit and socialize at lunch instead of sit on my phone, which was
that must have been tough for you, man.
Yeah,
that must have been tough.
Yeah, I'm still tired just thinking about it, but that's neither here nor there because now it's time to transition, I think, to Parasite. You watched Parasite this week.
I wanted to rewatch it because I wanted to prepare, re-find out what I love so much about this movie, have strong points to go off of when we were arguing about it, and just get really ugly with you and tell you why you were missing it and how you don't appreciate high art and how maybe you're not ready to experience movies at the next level. Mm-hmm. Because if you watched it and you just weren't understanding it, I was really feeling sorry for you. Okay. And then I watched it. Yeah. And I remember leaving the theater when I saw it because I saw it in theaters because I heard it was good.
Yeah.
And I had like this deep like feeling of like, I don't know even what to call it, but it's just like it left me feeling something, which not a ton of movies do.
Sure.
Like in that way at least. Mm-hmm. And so I was moved by it. And then, you start doing research into the plot and like all this cool stuff. You find out all these parallels. We can throw some spoilers out there, right?
Yeah, I think if we just declare spoiler now.
Spoiler alert for Parasite, 2019 Parasite.
Best Oscar. Best film
picture.
At the Oscars.
First spoiler, it's in Korean. Second
South,
spoiler.
Specifically.
Now, so like the whole thing's about like class struggle in Korea. Because like they're high up, they're low down the sewer, and then like the lights and stuff, theirs are always flickering just because they have bad electronics. The other lights are flickering because they have somebody living in their basement flickering the lights. Now, it is a cool movie. I still like it. Mm-hmm. But when I got done, I was just like, I loved this movie. And so that hurt my feelings when I thought that, but it's true.
Yeah.
And so I unfortunately feel like you may have had a point, and good job, man.
And here's something that we can say now is I actually haven't shared my opinions on Parasite yet. So on the podcast, so no one actually knows that I actually thought it was fairly mid.
Right. Fairly mid.
But, and I think we're actually super on the same page. I got what Parasite was trying to do. Like I totally did. In like the sense that like, there were parallels of class struggle, and that is what it is. But like I gave it 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. I didn't hate it. Like I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was actually I thought it was good, if not very good for a movie. But I kept thinking like, what is going to be the moment that like wows me, that like everyone else is like seeing this movie and is like, this has changed everything for me. This has changed cinema as I know it. And it never
was on
came.
the pedestal for you. That's part of the issue for sure.
Perhaps, but like I was never surprised. Like nothing surprised me in that movie. Like
even when all the murdering went down.
No, because like it was already framed. With the second they announced, they showed him being like a villain to that baby. He's only a villain. Like he is then a villain of this movie. The only thing that surprised me, the only reason it surprised me is it didn't make any sense, was that the main family's dad just randomly killed the rich guy who owned the house. It
wasn't random. It was like building. That was the whole thing. Is like the thing with the smell that they were kind of building all movie. Like they were saying they all smell the same because they're like a family, but they were pretending not to be a family. And then later in the car, he smells him. But then later when they're hiding under the table, he's talking to his wife about how he has an interesting stench to him.
But that's the thing, is he wasn't even
smells
like that.
The guy who was down in the basement, and that like triggers him, and he goes and stabs him.
Yeah, but like he wasn't even, he truly, when he was like talking behind his back, essentially, he wasn't even being that mean. Like, I don't know.
He really wasn't. He did compliment his driving as well.
Yeah, and like so I just didn't get it. And then at the end, he was covering his nose because the guy was like dead. It wasn't because he smelled like a poor person.
I think it was because he smelled bad because he lived in a basement for like 5 years.
Well, okay. I mean, even that, like that could be true too. It wasn't. He was a special circumstance for smelling bad, and I'm sure he smelled bad.
It seemed like that would be expected. If we're being honest, I could expect that, but
yeah.
I just it a bit over the top to maybe stab someone to death over maybe not liking your particular smell.
Mm-hmm.
You would have stabbed me long ago if that were just how things played out.
That's true. You don't change your shirt like ever when you.
No. I'm saying I would have stabbed you because I hate the way you smell.
Oh, is that why you always use my soaps and florals every time you're around?
Dude, it's because I don't want to pack all my own stuff, and you know that.
No, that's fair, I guess.
Also, I got my new ID today.
Dude, real
ID.
Come on, son. That's big time.
That's big time, man.
Dude can fly again. But yeah, so Parasite, it was actually good, and like I liked everything. I liked the story, but like, and maybe here's the problem is I'm a big Christopher Nolan guy now. I watched another Christopher Nolan movie. I watched The Prestige after watching the Dark Knight movies, and so I was on this. Oh, and I want to shout out Kim. Kim was the one who put me on The Prestige. She said you had to watch The Prestige if you're into these big movies, and so that's kind of what I'm doing now. If you have like a blockbuster, like well-regarded, beloved movie by everyone that I haven't seen yet, which is most of them, just throw them my way and I'll watch them. Like I got some today. Well, you actually already gave me one and it was not that good, and you also agreed it wasn't that good. So I don't know if I want to listen to
Shawshank Redemption is good.
Yeah, maybe. But you also said Parasite was good, and Parasite was okay.
I think you have to rewatch Titanic.
Bro, I'm not rewatching Titanic.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. It's a long movie.
I have a life, and I hope to be. I would have to take off from work, and I'm looking to retire. And if I started,
you know too, you have to have two separate Netflix subscriptions because they couldn't fit it all on one server.
dude, the cloud can't handle Titanic, and
yeah.
Why would it? But my question for Titanic is, why would it want to? That's what I don't get. Is
why would it want to?
Why is anyone listening to that?
I'll go ahead and spoil the movie, so nobody has to.
Yeah, please do.
Jack dies.
Jack dies.
Leo dies.
I have a spoiler too. The ship sinks.
It's not good. Yeah,
it's going down.
And
we know
they're
yelling.
What? They're yelling.
Who is?
You said it's going down. Is it catch?
Oh, they're yelling. They're yelling timber.
They're of course yelling timber. But I have so Leonardo DiCaprio from Titanic. Titanic's Leonardo DiCaprio is producing the movie. Okay, let me get into. I just finished my book, Billy Summers, by Stephen King. 520 pages. I read it in a week. By the way, I'm a bit of a reader now, and
a bit of a readophile.
Yeah, readophile, bookophile. Ooh. And so this book, really good. Gave it 5 stars. My first 5-star book. It's being turned into a movie. Really quick. I haven't seen The Shining. We should watch The Shining maybe and get back to it. But I need to read the book first. But apparently Stephen King, the hotel from The Shining, now he just throws it in all of his books or something, because it was like an Easter egg that they kind of talk about in this book at some point.
Just the name of the hotel, or like
just like the name of the hotel, and they're like, yeah, it was haunted and all this whole thing. And so I thought that was cool, even though I haven't seen The Shining. As I was reading it, I was like, this feels like I should know what this means, and so I looked up the name of the hotel, and it was from The Shining.
At what point is Stephen King just milking his biggest success? Is that not kind of cringe a little bit?
I will say the book turned into a cow because he was milking it. But then it turned back into a real good book.
That turned straight back into pages and words, yeah.
Yeah, straight back into 520 pages. I was shocked. Well, because I was reading, the book was on my stomach. Then I couldn't breathe because it was a cow on my stomach. and then I was right back to reading. It was insane.
Dude, it's the craziest thing. That's funny. The Shining, you said you wanted to watch that. We'd have to watch it together. I would need you.
Yeah, I know. I would literally have to hold your hand, probably.
Yeah, I would be nervous, and Brittany's no better than I, so I would need someone to help me get through that one, because I don't do the scary stuff. But I'm really enjoying this little movie kick I'm on of watching actually good movies. It's opened my eyes to a lot, and it's kind of made me second guess a lot of what's happened to me in the last decade or so. But
did you take film studies in high school?
I took sports film studies, and
okay.
I
took film studies.
Yeah, I didn't like sports film studies. I liked it for the class because the class was fun, and we got to do sports trivia on Wednesdays, and that was fun. The movie, and obviously it was just watching movies with a baseball coach as the teacher, so it was very chill and very easy. But like there weren't very many movies that I watched that were like, wow, these are really good. But like the ones that we did watch that I was like that, it was like Remember the Titans. I'd already seen Remember the Titans because I had cable, so I had ABC Family, so I watched it.
Yeah. I can't think of anything that we watched there that was like groundbreaking. Although I do remember, speaking of racism, they made us watch Birth of a Nation. Have you ever seen Birth of a Nation?
No, I haven't.
I think you should look it up like right now. I know this will cause a cut.
Okay, deep. Wow, Birth of a Nation looks uncool.
Dude, I'm gonna quote you on that, and I don't think you're gonna like it.
Okay, fine. I'll look at Birth.
I think you might want to redact that quote and
1915.
1915, and why don't you read the plot or the plot summary about it?
Two families, abolitionist Northerners, the Stonemans, and Southern landowners, the Camerons, intertwine in director D.W. Griffith's controversial Civil War epic. When Confederate Colonel Ben Cameron is captured in battle, Nurse Elsie Stoneman (parentheses Lillian Gish, I hope she's doing well) petitions for his pardon. In Reconstruction-era South Carolina, Cameron finds the Ku Klux Klan battling Elisa's congressman father, Ralph Lewis, and his African-American protege, Silas Lynch.
Now, who do you think plays that Silas Lynch? Because I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm fairly certain.
I have the name.
Why don't you...
George Siegman. Let's look up who George Siegman.
Check out George Siegman and see what he looks like. Is it a full white man? Because yeah.
I knew it was gonna be, but then looking at him, it was much more surreal. No, that's okay. I don't think we saw that one.
You also crazy, said it was cool earlier, I believe. Let's wind back the tape and hear Matt say that Birth of a Nation's a cool movie.
No, that doesn't sound like. I think I probably said it sounds uncool. Play it back, right. Editor Matt.
Yeah.
Editor Matt's tired, man. I don't think he's gonna play that one back. Let's get into Q&A before we get into any more controversies. Q&A, if you want to be like Kim, who loves The Prestige and loves this podcast, and if you want to be like that, she's rated as 5 stars. She has a sticker because she rated as 5 stars. So if you want a sticker, we'll probably give you one if you show us you rated as 5 stars. No big deal there. And
unless
then ask
we
a question.
It, because Ronnie was supposed to get one and I did forget it.
Yeah, but he's on the list.
So that's on me. That's on me. He'll get one.
Not your fault. Not your fault. Not his fault. It's just something that's going to be done. So if you want to be like Kim, ask us a question. And fun little new feature on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a comment section, and you can leave questions as comments, or you can just leave comments as comments, just your thoughts. And now you can reply to other people's comments with your own comment, that's kind of fun, right? If Kim asks a great question like she asked today, and you just want to give your input too, just do it.
Off, probably.
Kim listens. I post this usually like a Tuesday around like 8 a.m. typically. Kim texts me around like 8:30 giving her feedback. So like the question will be in, I'm sure, by the time you're listening. Maybe not, I'm sure, but there's a good chance it'll be in by the time you're listening. Just reply to whatever Kim's question is and leave your own question too. Why not? This is a community, build it. So Tyler, what's Kim's question?
All right. Kim asks, because just one Lego on its own is boring, how many do you need for them to actually be fun?
Were you a Lego guy? I don't think you were.
I wasn't.
Because I was not.
I did look up some like small Lego sets to see like how many pieces are we talking to like build something. You can do stuff with 15 pieces from what it looks like, these tiny little things. But yeah. I'm going to say I need 1 billion Legos to be fun because I don't like Legos.
I know. We were really serious about making like a Lego competition, like who could build one first on TikTok. Yeah, until we agree. We do good stuff on TikTok now.
And now we read and watch esteemed movies because we're cultured.
Yeah.
Not play with little blocks, color little blocks.
Yeah. So 1 billion. And then I would say like I think 5 I could make a snake with or a stick. So
okay, I don't think you understand how Legos work, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll get into that some other time.
Dude, yeah. No, that was good. So those were our answers. And if you want to answer the question, go look on Spotify. See what Kim's talking about, and then say something for yourself. Tyler, I'm ready to go to bed. Any last thoughts? Or
no, not from no. Nice. No, I think I'm good. I would just request if y'all are hearing this, what I'm saying right now, I've convinced him to leave in everything this episode because I think it went really well, and I think the people will understand that jokes are just jokes, and that's okay sometimes. Yeah. And so if you're not hearing this, I'm going to be mad.
You're going to hear this, and also there's going to be a lot of cuts, but that's just life. So thanks for listening. Or as Hutch says, thank you for listening. Hit it, Hutch.
Thank you for listening. This show's called Until We Agree. Oh, thank you for listening.
Oh, what's that sound? Is that?
Uh-oh. Is that Red Dye 40?
Is that Red Dye 40?
Get it away from me. I can't keep it away from me.
Okay, here's Matt Damon in Downsizing. If he was also RFK Jr.
No. Matt Damon in Downsizing, but RFK Jr. is still big, and he's trying to pour a red 40 on him.
Okay. Who do you want to be?
Take it. I'm sorry. Get the red 40. It's good for you.
I know it well.